multi-million-dollar deals, got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel.
And we are live. True Hooligan Podcast, episode number 2.5. We've passed a very impressive milestone, folks, and that's that we now have a lost episode. Jared, do you want to explain why we have a lost episode?
So, we have this lost episode because,
a 2-hour episode with a guest, mind you.
A 2-hour-long episode with a guest. We had Nathan come on, our buddy from ISU, and we were, talking, to each other for about 2 hours, and I accidentally deleted my audio the second we ended the podcast.
So for those of you that don't know, we isolate all of our audio so that there can't be any flaws on my end. So everybody sends me their audio, and then I just sync it up because if there's obviously gaps in everyone's audio where somebody else is talking, so it doesn't run over anybody, right? So there's no interruptions. It's as clean as it can be, right? So we all have our own audio. Jared deleted his on accident. So we have like 2.5 hours of me talking, suddenly stopping, and no one else saying anything because it's a portion where Jared had something to interject with. So the rest of the audio is rendered completely useless. And there was some good content. We had Nathan's Chuck E. Cheese fight story. We were talking about Chuck being in the military. We had all kinds of dope stuff that we talked about, and we lost it.
We had What's in the Box segment.
What's in the Box segment? It was lit. It was a lit episode, but it is lost forever. I had to delete my audio because I don't have a lot of room on my computer. I had to delete my audio completely. But hopefully this episode will go off without a hitch. Spencer, you have to go somewhere in a little while. Is that right? Where are you going?
So I am going to hang out with the new girl that I'm talking to for quite a while.
Yeah.
She lives like 45 minutes away, and
she lives 45 minutes away. And not only does she live 45 minutes away, she lives on the north side of Chicago. We live in the south suburbs. Well, they live in the south suburbs. I live in the way south suburbs.
Yeah, you live 2 hours away from us, even.
But yeah, Spencer, how is this going to work if she lives in on the north side?
Especially when you have a license, Spencer.
Yeah, I have to get it sooner than later, so I'm.
You've been saying that for 3 years now.
When you were 16.
I know I've been saying that for 3 years, but it's gotta
happen, man. It's gotta happen eventually.
It's gotta happen.
For those of you who don't know, Spencer is 18 and
he'll be 19 in February.
Unfortunately.
He doesn't know how to drive.
Not at all. I took him driving once. This is probably kind of incriminating, but I took you driving when I was like 17, and your stops were like when a kid first starts driving and they just stop on the brake all abruptly. That was every one of his stops. Like, he didn't figure it out at any point. Like, granted, he drove for 10 minutes, but, he drove. Was that the only time you've ever driven, Spencer? I guess Spencer doesn't have any answers for us right now. Anyway, Jared, I have a couple of topics here that we can jump right into. If you want to talk about the Cubs, we can.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
So Game 3 is in Chicago tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Kyle Schwarber, like I predicted, has so far been the offensive spark for the Cubby Bears. I think he got on base 3 times, had 3 RBIs. Did he have 3 hits or 2 hits? He had one of the two, and then he had a walk.
3.
I'm not sure.
So it was a pretty impressive showing for him.
Who?
2 hits and a walk.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I think so.
But he was the offensive spark the Cubs needed last night, or 2 nights ago, right? This is the first game in Wrigley. You have a prediction. What's your prediction?
So I predicted this before Game 1 of the World Series. I predicted Indians would win the first game in Cleveland, then the Cubbies would win the rest of the series. I don't think they're going to lose anymore.
The Cubs won the game 2 in Cleveland. You think they're going to win 2 straight in Wrigley, and then go back to Cleveland and win a 4th.
And then in Cleveland again.
Sweep it.
Yep.
That's a bold prediction, because I think Hendricks is pitching tonight, and Hendricks isn't bad. I think it spells very well for the Cubbies. If they can keep the bats hot, if he can make a minimal amount of mistakes, limit the amount of hits and the amount of times they can get on base, we can win this game easily and go into game 3 with a lead. Or game 4 with a lead.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about baseball. I'll be real honest with you. I know a tentative amount. I've been keeping up, and I've always been pretty astute when it comes to sports. But, like I said, baseball was probably my third spot, or my fourth spot in terms of sports. You know, it was football, hockey, then basketball, 50 feet of crap, and then baseball, and then soccer, and then NASCAR.
Yeah.
I'm just playing. But for real, though, I didn't know a whole lot about baseball up until maybe last season when they made that run. I think they made it to the... I don't know what it would be called, but it was one of the playoff rounds against the Mets.
Playoffs, yeah.
And they lost to the Mets. But...
Yeah, none of us are really dialed in on baseball. I mean, we watched, like, casually, I guess. But,
Right.
I think just because, it's, you know, the Cubbies,
right.
You know...
Which is weird.
Going to
The
World
Cubs
Series
are the only Chicago team I root for.
1945.
The only Chicago team I root for. I hate every other Chicago team. I can't fucking stand the White Sox and their dumbass fans.
It's because you're contrarian, Jimmy.
I can't stand
I think they're overrated.
fucking Bulls. I like the Bulls a little bit more now because Dwayne Wade has come back to Chicago. I love Rajon Rondo, so he's, you know, one of my favorite point guards in the league right now. Love me some Rajon Rondo. Let's be real. So maybe the Bulls are a little bit more in my favor than they were. I like Jimmy Butler a lot too. The Bulls are more in my favor than they were a couple of years ago. But that being said, I hate the Bulls and their fucking fans, man. The only Bulls fan that I like is Noah. And that's because Noah's not an asshole about it. Noah's like, yeah, we kind of suck. Every other Bulls fan is just so, like, oblivious to how bad the Bulls are year after. They're like, nah, man, we can make a run in the playoffs. We could beat the Cavs. And I'm like, you can't fucking beat the Cavs in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I know almost little to nothing about basketball.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I went on a little bit of a run there about basketball.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Chicago teams, though, baseball, I like both the Sox and the Cubs. If you can't like both teams from your city,
I like the
I don't
Sox.
understand
Like, if the Sox do well, I'm not angry. I just don't like their fans.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's been a big thing on social media recently.
Hating on the Cubs and their fans.
Sox fans attacking Cubs fans. For no reason.
Shouldn't you be happy they're both Chicago teams?
That's what I'm saying.
That's my thing.
If it's good for Chicago, it's good for Chicago.
Yeah.
It's just more baseball to enjoy. You don't have to pick. You don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You can just flip flop. You can have jerseys for both teams, know a lot about both teams, and just like them both equally. And that way, it's a cop-out. Like, if the Sox suck, it's like, oh, well, Cubs are on fire. Cubs suck, oh, Sox are on fire. It's a cop-out. It's the perfect storm. And Chicago was Chicago's exactly the city to be like, nah, fuck it. Hottest rivalry in baseball is going to be a crosstown rivalry. Like, what the fuck?
We do that, too. We've been to Sox game. And now we're rooting for the Cubs.
I love Sox games because there's nobody in the fucking stadium.
Oh, we should tell this story.
That's a great story.
Tickets are cheap.
Jared,
that is a great story.
Okay, so me, Jimmy, and Spencer, and like 10 other friends, huge group of people, lots of people, buy some nosebleed seats. They're like $6 at a Sox game. I think it was Sox versus
Washington.
Was it Washington? No, it wasn't Washington. I thought it was Detroit.
It was Washington because Bryce Harper was playing. I remember being excited to watch Bryce Harper play.
Anyway, Sox versus Nationals. And
he played for the Nationals, right? That's not okay.
Yeah, Washington Nationals. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna go down to these home plate seats. They're
now like.
It's
granted,
Sox game.
We didn't take anyone's seats. No one's there. It's an empty stadium.
Like,
when I say empty, I mean the majority of this stadium is empty. There were more people at Chance's Coloring Day than there were at this game.
Yeah. So, me, Spencer, and like 2 other guys are like, let's go get these really good seats behind home plate. So we go down and we take these seats that aren't ours. And Jimmy and everyone else is up, in the seats they're supposed to be in, tweaking. They're like, guys,
no, can I explain my logic behind it real quick?
Hold on. Well, let me finish the story. So, we're like, nah, we're going to stay here. If someone tells us to get up and move, we'll get up and move. Lo and behold, no one comes and, claims these seats.
But,
so
nobody claims,
we're sitting there the whole game.
15 seats. It was a
So-
huge coincidence.
Me and
it was like a whole row.
Spencer are sitting on the end of the row, and this lady comes over to us and she starts talking, and she says, "You guys are in the special row. If the I forgot what it was.
If you
what's
guess
his face?
the
It was a
pizza
If the
box
Sox hit a home
Or
run,
something.
yeah, it was. If you guess the pizza box or something
on the
some
jumbotron,
stupid,
it was like a
sports-
shell
some
shuffling
stupid
game.
stadium
You would
game.
guess which box had the pizza in it.
Yeah, and we won, and they're like, "You and your entire row gets free pizza," and I'm like, "There's no way."
And we're just sitting there. We're like, we didn't pay for these fucking
we
seats.
just randomly picked these seats, and we got the special row pizza seats.
It was insane.
It
And
was-
you were
it
on
was-
the
it was
jumbotron,
nuts. It was- yeah, we were on the jumbotron.
You were-
I got
yeah,
pictures.
it was insane.
It was really cool.
But real quick, let me run with this real quick. My logic behind it was, we should stay in our nosebleed seats for like the first half of the top of the first, right? That way we can look down there and see where are the best seats that aren't occupied, right? Which objectively would have been the seats we inevitably picked, right? But you were just like, Jake was like, fuck it, we'll just go down there. We'll just sit in some seats, and if someone says move, we'll move, right? So, Lord behold, you get in these seats, and I'm like, there's no way no one's going to... Because you got there before the game started.
And these were
Good
good
seats. And I'm like, there's no
Right
way
behind home plate.
no one shows up. So, the first inning, like, the top of the first passes, and I'm like, no one's fucking coming. So, I run down there with the rest of our group, which is like 10 people, and we sit down in, like, a row and a half of seats. And
Yeah, I think we're taking
we
up
were
like
taking
a row,
up a row and,
like
three
the row
more
above.
seats. So, it was like a row and, like,
Yeah.
a 16th of a row. And no one showed up. No one. There were people in front of us, there were people behind us, but like sparingly, like 6 or
Behind us,
7
to the
people.
side of us.
But no one. No one came. Spencer, you were hyped on the jumbotron. I remember looking at you.
Was very hyped because I was on the edge.
You were the one. Yeah,
and
you were the
lady
guy
came
who was
in-
like, yeah.
The lady came by the first time, and we were just like, "Oh shit, are we gonna get kicked out of these seats?" And she came by with a sign with
And
the
the
like, the
camera
pizza
crew.
on it. I think it was Beggar's Pizza. Yeah, and the camera crew, and they peeped the seats, and then they left. And I guess like, are we getting kicked out of these seats? Like,
I
what's
thought it
happening?
was security.
So then like 15 minutes goes by, they come back, and they start talking to me and Jared because we're the last two on the row, and they're like, "Yeah, you guys are in the pizza row," and we're like, "What the fuck is that?" And they're like, another row has to pick one of the pizza boxes off the jumbotron, and if they pick the right one, your whole row wins free pizza." And we're like, "Fuck yeah, we didn't pay for these seats. We have luck 10."
We stole these seats. For all intents and purposes, we stole these seats.
And then I almost didn't get a pizza
Yeah.
ticket because
I didn't get one. I didn't get any free. I wasn't that hungry, though, because I had just eaten a bunch of food that I paid for. But there was that black guy. He was the one who guessed. Do you remember that? So I'm at the
Was it
I'm
a
at the
bunch of-
end of the row, and Maddie and Jack are behind me. And they're looking like the pizza people are looking at us like towards the end of the row, and they looked at you guys first, and you guys yelled something. I don't know if you yelled a number, but this black guy next to me, he was like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and I was like, all right, I guess it's 3. Like I don't know. Like I messed with the puzzle. I really did. I did not know what box it was in, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go with this guy's answer. I'm gonna go with 3, and it was 3, and I was like, yeah, my dude. Like we were high fiving, me and that guy. He was a nice guy. We talked a lot during the game. He was super cool. I wish more people were like that. Like just a total stranger who you just happen to sit next to at a baseball game is like chill as shit, and you're able to just like talk. And he's like, "Are you a Cubs fan or are you a Sox fan?" I'm like, "Kind of. I'm not really into that baseball that much, but yeah, I just gotta root for Chicago." He's like, "Yeah, me too, man. We got these tickets for free from my boss, and the parking pass was for free. My boss, you know, he came through for us. Me and the kids are here." And I'm like, "That's super cool. Like your boss just like gives you these tickets." He's like, "Yeah, my boss has season passes because he's a big Sox fan, but because they sucked this year, he didn't want to go, so he gave them to me and the kids." I'm like, "That's super dope." But yeah, he was a super nice guy. I liked him a lot. But yeah, that's another story for another time. I got another topic if you guys want to move away from baseball.
Yeah.
let's get it.
This
do that.
topic is kind of weird, and it's a sensitive subject, but we'll talk about it because this is a podcast. I want it to be organic and I want it to be real. But today I was on Facebook, and a girl I went to high school with made some post. Now this girl is mixed. I think she's like half black, and she might be like Latino or Latina. I don't know what the hell I would say because she's a girl. but she's mixed, right? And she posted an article from some stupid website that says something along the lines of, all my white friends from childhood were fake. It was an article written by some woman of color, and she was saying essentially that all of her friends, that when she was a kid, they were fake. And they were only being her friend to co-opt her into the fold of whiteness. And that they were trying to further this white privilege agenda by making a black person feel like they were more white. Do you get what I'm saying? That they were like, hey, we'll befriend, this black girl, make her more like us, and, like, diminish blackness and raise whiteness. It was what this article was about, right?
Yeah.
So I'm reading this article, and I wasn't friends with this girl. But I do have a similar, not similar, but I had a friend named Marquise. Spencer, you know about Marquise. Marquise is black, and I would call Marquise and I pretty good friends. Back in the day, we were really close friends when we were younger. Time, high school, college, we've grown apart. But we're pretty close on Twitter and stuff. I like a lot of his shit. He likes a lot of mine. We have a lot of conversations on Twitter. A lot of similar interests, I'd say. And if Marquise called me up right now and was like, hey, man, you want to come over and watch some anime? I know he's really into anime. I'd be like, yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I'd go over. I hang out with Marquise right now. Let me make this clear. I'm not friends with Marquise because I want to co-opt him into the whiteness. Right? I'm friends with Marquise because Marquise likes Dragon Ball, and I really like Dragon Ball. And he makes really dope drawings of anime characters that I think are really cool. And he says funny shit all the time. That's why I'm friends with Marquise. Right? There's this kid in my math class. His name's TC. Funniest motherfucker. He came into class the other day. He's like 22. He did a community college for 2 years, and then he switched his major. He's drinking Crown Royal out of a fucking water bottle. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this guy is lit. Like, he's dope as shit. I like him. I would call him my friend. But it's not because I want him to be white. It's not because I want to diminish his blackness. If he wants to go out with his, I don't know, his family or his neighborhood, his church group or whatever, and do, like, pro-black activism stuff, that's his prerogative. I don't want him to diminish, like, who he is to be my friend. That's a ridiculous assumption. And this article, it kind of queued up something in my mind where I was like, okay, if 60% of black people are reaching across the aisle, and 60% of white people are reaching across the aisle, and then there's 40% of each that just aren't moving, right? Racist-ass white people, racist-ass black people. If 40% of us aren't reaching across the aisle, we're never going to join hands. You know what I mean? We might brush fingertips every once in a while. You know, when we elect somebody like Barack Obama or, some other great social thing happens. But otherwise, we're just brushing fingertips. We're never going to get the rest of the way there. And it alarmed me because I knew there were white people that are bad, right? We all kind of acknowledge that there are a lot of white people that are shitty and racist. I know some of them, right?
I've met a person like that, and their basement's pretty.
I was talking to this girl in my chemistry class today, Spencer, and she's a senior, and we were just talking about like family, or whatever. She goes, "Yeah, my dad's not a racist; he's a separatist," and I'm like
Star Wars?
Like, bro, like.
No, like,
are you an alien?
No, like separate but equal.
Right,
that's
what I was making a joke. I knew what it was.
Yeah.
I'm like Star Wars.
So she's talking to me and she's like, my dad, he's not racist. He just
thinks that black people should have their own water
black
fountains
people.
and stuff, right?
And she's like,
idiot.
he thinks they should move to like some other place and like they should all go kill each other in like Africa or something.
Like, how do you even say that out loud? Like
how
Donald Glover has this skit where he's like, the people police don't come get you and like take you away. Like, oh, I'm sorry, this person's a demon. Like, go ahead, Jared.
No, you go ahead.
That's all I had.
All right, well, I'm done.
Yeah, but back on what I was saying was, Spencer, take it.
Okay, I'm gonna add my input. Okay, me and Jared have this friend Hassan. He's mixed. We don't hang out with Hassan because we want him to just do everything that we do or say everything that we say. We hang out with him because he's funny, he likes our music, he is pretty athletic.
And he thinks eating pussy's like kissing your dad.
Yeah. But like,
This is a
He
funny.
doesn't eat
Hold on.
pussy because he thinks it's like
we
kissing
can tell
your
that.
dad.
He was telling us.
We can tell that in a little bit.
This kid is so funny. Hold on. He was talking to us. He goes, yeah. Whenever you guys, go down on a girl, it's like kissing your dad, right? You get the little scruff, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing down there, bro? Like, you kissing your dad? That's how you kiss your dad? Like,
I'm so.
I mean, you do,
I
you
get
do
what
you,
he's
man.
saying
But
though.
like,
Like, you get like the razor bumps on your face.
I'm like, I get it. But
Oh
like,
my god, that's funny
I
as hell.
I don't kiss my dad. Like, I don't kiss my dad like that. Like,
It's like kissing your dad.
that's
Oh Jesus! But yeah, right. I got what you're saying, and it alarmed me because, like I said, we all know that like 60% of white or 40%. I don't know what the actual number would be, but I'm tossing out 40. There are 40% of white people who are probably kind of shitty, right? There's a lot of millions of white people, and there are a lot of black people that are shitty. But I never thought that there were whole swaths of black people that were like, no, fuck white people, fuck them. Like I know lots of black people. Lots of black people know me. They don't think I'm shitty, and I don't think they're shitty. We just exist, in different spheres of color, I guess. And, maybe culture. They're culturally a little different from me, but that's okay. Because I want to learn about their culture as much as they want to learn about mine.
Why can't
white
it be
culture is pretty
everybody's
amazing.
White culture is shitty. Fuck white.
White culture
fuck
is
white
amazing.
Culture.
Mayonnaise is spicy. Baseball is exciting. Golf is my favorite
Have you seen that
pastime.
meme that says, like, it's a tweet, and it says, white people have no culture, and then when it says, what they actually mean, I don't know what Europe is. It kills me every time I say it, or every time I see it, because it's literally like it's, like a really black-looking girl, and the tweet is, like, in, like, bad grammar, like written wrong. It's like, white people have no culture, and then some other, like idiot commented, I don't know what Europe is. I just died.
That's so
But
stupid.
no, that's the kind of bullshit that I see. Is like, why you gotta be like that? Why can't we all just acknowledge that everybody is culturally different, but we're all humanly equal? We all have something to contribute to each other, that we can learn from each other, and that we should all be reaching across the aisle to, like, stop the fingertip brushing, because that's what we're doing nowadays, right? We're kind of just like, yeah, I'll meet you there, and we're like, we're waiting for the other guys to make the rest of the jump, right?
Yeah.
But no one's doing it. No one's making the rest of the jump. No white people, no black people. No one's making the rest of the jump to finally grab hands and end this petty bullshit that we got going on in America right now. It's really fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah.
There's way too much petty drama.
So, all right, switching gears here a little
Go
bit.
ahead.
We're gonna switch to games. Skyrim Remastered came out last night. Spencer, I know you got Skyrim. What were your initial impressions of the remastered Skyrim?
Okay. We started playing it at like 11 last night. I didn't go to bed till 3.
That's a solid.
I have never had
5 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah, you're right.
I
4
have
hours.
never had so much nostalgia and like so much fun playing a game that I've already fucking played before and put so many hours into before. Because I haven't played Skyrim since 11/11 that winter when it first originally came out. And I
Yeah.
kind of like tried not to play it because I bought another copy for the 360 and I bought it on my laptop. And I was like, no, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait till Skyrim Remastered comes out. And I got to say, they did a good job remastering it. And I also
Yeah.
didn't get to play the DLC before. Now there's mods.
The DLC's awesome.
I'm not sure if I'm going to use the mods that much.
I think I'm gonna do a let's play.
because
That's what I've been telling you guys. I want to do a Let's Play.
I think
I
the
already
way
got
we
some,
should do the
gameplay
let's play
downloaded.
is every episode will be like, we'll alternate people's gameplay. Like episode 1 is my gameplay
switches
on my orc
perspectives.
build. And then we do Jared with his. Are you a Nord, Jared? You're
Yeah,
a
I'm a
Nord.
Nord.
I'm a Nord.
Call yourself a
We
nerd.
do you as a Nord.
Spencer calls
And
himself a
Spencer,
Nord.
what are you? And we do Spencer's
Nord.
Nord character again, right? And then, but each of the gameplays is all 3 of us kind of talking, right? So, I just don't know, because Let's Plays, you're talking as you're playing, so it would be kind of
Yeah.
complicated in that regard to get it perfect. But we could probably figure it out. Maybe we could record those Let's Plays on weekends that I'm home. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
Maybe knock out like 3
I
or
just
4
wanna know,
episodes every weekend. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. But that'd be cool. I would like to do a Let's Play.
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with the Skyrim Remastered. I've been playing that game for about 5 straight years, like since it came out, since I was 11 years old. And I will say I'm very impressed.
Spencer, you sent me a Snapchat that said you can't tell, but it looks amazing, and I could kind of tell. I could see some of the.
That was me.
Is that
Jimmy.
you who sent it?
Yeah, that was me.
The sign, like I could see on the like the hanging sign, I could see like the wood grain detail, and I could kind of see.
They did a lot of retexturing.
What?
A lot of retexturing.
Yeah, I could see a lot of that stuff. How good is it? Because I'm tentative about this. Whenever I hear, like, a game gets remastered, and they're like, oh, the graphics are so much better, I always get it, and then I'm like, what the fuck? It's, like, slightly better. Is this, like, Skyrim to Fallout 4, or is this, like, Skyrim to Skyrim 2.0?
I think Skyrim Remastered looks better than Fallout
really
4, in
think
my
so?
opinion. I think... Thing about Skyrim, I'm not going to get too technical because I'm not sure exactly the technical stuff, but things in Skyrim that changed a lot. The outside, how it looks a lot more lush and green. The sky is really blue, really vibrant like colors. And in the snow areas, the snow looks not so blocky and pixelated. Shadows a lot sharper. And NPCs look a lot cleaner too. They don't look so like, you know, pixelated and stuff. And another thing is, like, lighting and shadows was a big difference.
Oh, it's so
when
much
you're
better.
in your cave, like, there's only so much you can do with, like, a rock wall. But, you know, what they did is they did light effects.
Right.
So it looks so much better and, like, just more realistic now. It's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
I actually had, like, used torches now, going through certain caves because it's so dark.
Yeah.
And, like, the lighting affects it so much that, like, you actually have
Now,
to
do
start
you
doing
guys play
stuff.
Skyrim in first or third person?
I switch
First.
off, but mostly first.
I typically play... I don't even remember where I play, to be honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't even remember. I think I play in first person. No, I play in third person unless I'm looking down at something, like I'm looking at a table picking up objects, or I'm using a bow. Those are the two times that I play in first person. Otherwise, I'm in third. I like seeing my character. You know what I mean? I like, you know, I got all this cool armor.
Yeah.
I want to be able to see it, right? So, yeah, I play Skyrim in third person. I play Fallout exclusively in first person, though.
Yeah. Fallout, in my opinion, I think Skyrim Remastered is 10 times better than Fallout 4.
Well, Skyrim
And
is
here's
10 times better than Fallout 4.
that's what I said.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's Skyrim, you know, not necessarily remastered. The original Skyrim,
No,
there's Skyrim is one of the best games ever. Like, Fallout's a great game.
I think it's in the top 25
Yeah.
games selling console games
Fallout's
ever.
a great game, don't get me wrong. I love Fallout 4. But is it in my top 5? No. Is it in my top 10? Yeah. Skyrim's in my top 3.
Yeah.
My top 3 is BioShock Infinite, Skyrim, and then somewhere kind of in the ether is like Modern Warfare 2. And then it's just like, it gets real hectic after that.
Yeah. I know you guys all played Skyrim, you know, when
I
it
played
came out, the original.
fuck out of Skyrim. You played it the most,
Yeah.
but
I have at least 1,000
I
hours
have
on
3
Skyrim.
characters, and I think, did you just run through the campaign? I say campaign, but like main quest line on each of those characters? Because I know you have a lot of characters. Or did you do everything on each character?
I did everything for each
Because
character.
on my 3 characters, I did everything for each of them. Well, that's not necessarily true. My first character, I just ran through the main quest line. Just sprinted through it. And then I was like, you probably missed some shit. You know what I mean? Like, you missed a lot. I built an orc, and that was the character I had the most fun with, was my second playthrough. Because I did the main quest line up until, like, I'm not even sure, but the middle. Then I did the Dark Brotherhood. Then the Companions. Then some DLC. Then I did the Thieves Guild. Then I went back. And now that I'm a bad motherfucker, I just walked through the main quest. Like, walked through it.
And that's the thing about Skyrim 2, is even after you do the main quest line, there's still Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Companions, Mages Guild, the DLC storylines, all the Daedric items. In Fallout, it's once you do, like, I'm not gonna, really go into detail about Fallout, but you do the main storyline, and then it's just kind of, that's it.
Right.
You can do a couple side quests, but there's not really much to do after you do the main quest line.
I wish there was more. I wish
But,
I wish Fallout had more of that, like,
Fallout could have.
here's a
Fallout
weird
could've been done
organization
so much
that
better.
is not related to the main quest line at all. Do this. Like it's similar to a Dark Brother. Because the Dark Brotherhood is a storyline almost as long as the main quest line, right? It's fucking long. And it's completely unrelated.
Yeah.
It's like a whole nother game. If someone had just built the Dark Brotherhood quest line, right, as a singular game, no other side quests or anything, it was just the Dark Brotherhood quest line from beginning to end, and they said, here, build a character, do this, that's a full game.
I know for Elder Scrolls Online, they built a whole entire expansion off the Dark Brotherhood.
It's huge. And that's what I think Fallout lacks is, yeah, we got the Brotherhood of Steel and the Minutemen. We've got the Railroad. There's just quest lines here, right? But there's a critical mass to each of them where you have to continue the main storyline. And if you do, you can't do any of the other bullshit. So it's like, where do I stop before I've upset everyone? In my opinion, what they should have done is, have that main quest line where you have to kind of pick a side. But then throw in 6 organizations that are just random. It's the end of the world. There's got to be like a free Earth society where they're just like, yeah, man, go back to the way of the Native Americans, and they have a whole quest line. Or, you know what I mean? Like there should be some dope, and think about this. There's the super sledge, have a whole quest line around like wasteland Native Americans that are trying to go back, because the whole Fallout 4 is like the American Revolution, you know what I mean? Because it's in Boston. There's a lot of like American influences. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's the Hall of Freedom. It's in Concord. And do something like that where like these guys are from like the Concord area, and they're like the free Earth or whatever, and they're like trying to, I don't fucking know, but this is always an idea I've had, is like, kind of have a counter to this whole Minutemen America's type thing. Make these Native American like wastelander type characters that are trying to free the world and go back to the ways of these Native Americans, because they were punished, you know what I mean? Do you see where I'm going with this? I know I'm kind of rambling. And then just have like a Native American weapon set. That'd be dope as shit. A super sledge, but it's a tomahawk. Think about that. A one-handed super sledge, and it's a tomahawk. That'd be a dope weapon. Like a super bow and arrow that shoots rockets. I don't fucking know. But there's so much that you can do with this, Skyrim, and they don't. And it's so weird.
Yeah. Back to Skyrim, though, in my opinion, if people like us who have played the game before, going back to it will be a lot of fun, revisiting Tamriel and seeing how they completely redid the entire landscape. And for people who's never played the game before, I highly recommend picking up Skyrim Remastered.
Yeah.
It is well worth $60.
One of the guest
you will spend hours and hours, days, maybe weeks.
Months.
It was my first real RPG game, and I'm so into Skyrim.
Can we change gears here?
My favorite game.
I know Spencer doesn't have a whole lot of time, and I wanted to get this in. Spencer, the Switch, Nintendo Switch.
Okay, I'll explain the Nintendo Switch for anybody that doesn't know what it is. Okay, so last Wednesday, Nintendo, out of the blue, actually no, it was last Thursday, out of the blue, Nintendo goes, you know that NX we've been talking about for a long time? Fuck it, it's called the Nintendo Switch. And here's a 3-minute trailer. Now, it's basically a portable console, and there's a docking station so you can like play it in your house. And then there's these like Wii remotes that slide onto the sides, and you can take it out of the docking station, take it wherever you want and play it. Planes, trains, fucking Uber, doesn't matter. And the big 2 problems I have with this thing is, or the big 2 things that we kind of all have a problem with this is, it seems gimmicky, the battery, 3. Gimmicky, the battery, and support. Because, Jim, we talked about this a little bit on the other podcast, but
Lost
people
episode.
won't hear it, is that Lost episode 2, this is 2.5, Bethesda, they put Skyrim Remastered in the Switch trailer, and we're not even sure if it's going to get released on the Switch.
There's literally
false advertising.
Not even confirmation it's going to be on the Switch. They cannot confirm that, and they just shoehorned it into the trailer. Like, if I made...
There's a bunch of other shit in the trailer.
Right? If I made shoes,
Jimmy, you're getting completely off topic here.
If I made shoes, okay, and I made a trailer for my shoe, and my shoe, like, in the trailer, could fly you to the moon because it had jetpacks in it, and then I was like, well, we're working on that, but we're not sure we're gonna have it. You can say anything at this point. You could say anything you want about your product as long as you go, well, we're working on it. It's so stupid. Go ahead, Spencer. I'm sorry.
And, like, they can't false advertise. I think it's a load of bullshit. It'd be like the PS4 going, yeah, we have this, and this. They're all exclusives. You might just get one of them.
You might get one. Or we're working. You know, PlayStation's like, well, we've been working with third parties to get, I don't know, Microsoft titles. God of War's PlayStation. Like Halo. Trying to get Halo, Gears. We might get them. So, you know, base your purchase on a maybe. You know what I mean? That's the reason I would buy a console like the Switch, is to get that portability of these top tier AAA titles. And if all I've got to go off of is a maybe, why the fuck am I gonna spend all this money? It's absurd.
Nintendo's got to step their game up. And also, they teased a bunch of other stuff. I mean, they already revealed the new Zelda game. I think it's Breath of the Wild.
I can't even keep up with Zelda anymore.
Yeah. They teased, we're not sure if it's a new Mario game. And let me tell you, if they don't package it with the new Mario game, or if it's not like a release title, they're fucking themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't see anything except for Zelda that they can put out with,
To be
like,
fair,
in March of next year.
that Legend
will
of
do
Zelda
good.
title looks lit. That's the Zelda game I've been looking for.
It's an
for
open
years.
world Zelda
I've
game.
played every Zelda since Twilight Princess. I played Wind Waker. I played Twilight Princess. I played a little bit of Skyward Sword. I didn't finish it, but I finished the other two. Played a little bit of Skyward Sword. I've been playing Zelda since, like, I can't even say the first word, but it's like Ocarina of Time. Played that shit. I played Majora's Mask. I've been on that Zelda grind. And let me tell you, this is the Zelda game I've been looking for. Is this Wildlands. Alright. What is it, Spencer? Breath of the Wild. Whatever the fuck it is. It looks dope. It looks so dope. The movement, the way he's
There's
moving
crafting,
and swinging that giant ass sword. It looks amazing. It looks great. It really does. It looks so clean. And again, I like Mario games. I'm a sucker for Nintendo Mario games. Like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I love those games. I loved Mario Super Sluggers, the baseball game that was on Wii. There was a ton of characters you could play with. Oh, it was so much fun. But they're fucking up. If you don't drop this thing with a Mario title, that's not Mario World, because nobody wants another fucking Mario World. If you don't release it with a 3D Mario game like Mario Galaxy or a Mario 64, you are fucking up. Bottom line.
Now, unfortunately, guys, I gotta go.
You fucking suck.
I'll be back 3 times. I'll be back with 3 times the length on episode 3, and this time we're not gonna lose the fucking audio.
Episode 3 is gonna be 2 hours long.
And we might have special guests. Just to give you guys a tease.
Alright, I'll see you later, Spencer. Me and Jared are probably gonna carry this out for another half hour.
Bye,
see you, Spencer.
Bye, Jared. See you guys later.
See you, Spink.
Alright, just you and me now. But that's alright, because the topics that I wanted to cover with you are more you and me oriented. How's that sound?
So we can do this while Spencer is out with this Chicago girl.
Chicago girl. Okay, hang on. Over, under. Like, alright. How long is this little thing gonna last? Let's do an over under.
Well, I know he's been talking to her for a while. I mean, at most, I'm gonna give it 3 months.
Okay, fair enough.
In my opinion, of like them actually hanging out and doing stuff.
Right.
At least, and at the minimum,
Today.
I'll give it today. I think today
That's
might be
so
the last time I hang out.
drastic. Like, today, and it could last another 3 months. We don't know. We're not necessarily sure, really.
Yeah.
But anyway.
The problem is that she lives 45 minutes away downtown.
And that's
Spencer doesn't have a license.
That's no small potatoes. He doesn't have a car. What's he gonna do?
I mean,
walk?
I guess you could take the train, but what then?
Yeah, what you're gonna stop at LaSalle Station? and get an Uber.
Yeah.
A $30 Uber from LaSalle to the north side.
Every time you want to get your dick sucked by Chi-Town Thotty, like, come on.
Chi-Town Thotty. That's a good one. Anyway, do you have any topics for me? Because I have a couple here. Whatever you got.
I mean, Halloween's coming up this weekend. Actually, if you are interested in anything Halloween related.
I could be. What are you being for Halloween?
So, here's the thing. As most of you know, high school don't really trick or treat anymore. So dressing up is kind of useless. But I still love dressing up.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think me and Spencer are gonna try and do are find a party and we're gonna be superheroes. But we're gonna be like Clark Kent and like Peter Parker, something like that. I don't know. It should be a fun weekend.
That'll be dope. I don't know what I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
but something just came up and I might have a plan now. I'm not sure though.
Okay.
But last year, what the fuck was I? Oh, I was an Olympic DM diver last year. I had
That
a
was
big
funny.
gold medal, and I had a white tank top that said US DM diver, and I had the gold medal, which I thought it was a funny costume. But Halloween is Monday. I do not have a costume picked, so
Yeah.
I'll have to hustle.
Honest to God, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some big nerdy
I got
glasses, do my hair, Superman shirt.
I got it. Hang on, give me one sec. I've got a Johnny Manziel jersey here. I'm gonna just grab that Johnny Manziel jersey, do my hair all weird, and then just like carry a copious amount of alcohol around and just be Johnny Manziel. That's what I'm doing. I'm being Johnny Manziel. Fuck it.
So I don't really follow football that much. What happened to him?
So Johnny Manziel, for those of you who don't follow football, was one of the top quarterback prospects a few years ago. Coming out of Texas A&M, he was the only freshman to ever win a Heisman Trophy, which is like college football's MVP, I guess, is the best way to describe it. He won the Heisman as a freshman. He was a beast. People were comparing him to Russell Wilson for, kind of being a diminutive player who had some playmaking abilities. He was very quick and kind of a Tim Tebow type flash in the pan. So what happens, he goes to the NFL, he gets drafted by the fucking Cleveland Browns, which is literally like being a Jew in 1939 and being found by the Nazis. That's what it's like. Because it's over. Once you get drafted by the Browns, your career's basically over. If you're a quarterback. If you're like a defensive player or an offensive lineman like Joe Thomas or Joe Hayden, you've got a chance at going somewhere else and kind of carrying on your career. But he goes to the Browns, and they bench him for Josh McCown, the journeyman. This guy's been on like 11 NFL teams, and he hasn't done shit with any of them. But they bench him. Which if you're going to draft a quarterback in the first round, fucking start him. I don't care who you have on your bench. Start this kid. Let him grow. If 2 seasons pass and he's not winning some games and he's making a lot of fundamental mistakes, then you bench him for an old journeyman. But not in his first season. Let him stretch his legs.
Yeah, definitely not.
He starts playing, and he plays all right. Right? He throws some interceptions. He throws some touchdowns. He runs in some touchdowns, and he fumbles some balls. Right? It's kind of maybe a little more negative than positive, but he's right in the middle. And he's a rookie. Right? He's partying a lot.
Young kid.
A lot. He's partying a lot. But they're putting a lot of pressure on him to stop the partying. No one says shit about Rob Gronkowski when he's got a party boat. No one says shit about that. But they're harping him in Cleveland. Mike Pettine, the coach at the time, harping him. The pressure builds up on Johnny, develops a bit of an alcohol problem, bit of a drug problem, and by the end of, I think, his second season, he's caught by the Browns. He's a free agent. His dad is saying if he doesn't get help, he's going to die. His dad said that. Like, could you imagine if your dad was like, yeah, his problem's so bad that if he doesn't get help soon, he's going to fucking die. His dad said that.
That's terrible.
Doesn't go into rehab. He makes a couple tweets here and there like, guys, I'm stepping my game up. I'm going to get better, which is typical addictive behavior. You know what I mean? It's typical. To go like, I'm going to get better, and then like continue to make those mistakes. I think he needs to go to like genuine rehab. I think he checked in for a little while but then left. But that's what he needs to do, is check into some genuine ass rehab like Brett Favre did. And try to get better, because he's real sick right now. And he's a good talent that is just getting wasted. But right now he's a fucking bust.
Yeah.
I got my Johnny Manziel jersey at a Ross. But Jerry, go ahead. For
So,
like $14.
rehab-
It's a real NFL jersey. Like a $100 jersey. I got it for $14.
Speaking of like rehab and stuff like that, you know about Kid Cudi,
Yeah.
right? How he whatever. You hear about what happened like
Just now,
maybe
how
it
he
was
popped
today,
off
maybe it
at
was
Drake
yesterday.
on Twitter?
He called Drake a fucking
Let me read the
pussy.
tweet. Let me pull it up. Hang on.
Let's
Give me some
quote this.
backstory, like about his rehab, while I look for this tweet.
So I'm not a huge Kid Cudi fan, but he was it on Facebook or Twitter. He put this
Might have been both.
or just some like statement. So he made the statement about how he's depressed. He's been depressed for a while, and he needed some help so he didn't hurt himself or like to make himself feel better about himself again. So he had to leave the game for a little bit and got some help, and he's still getting help right now.
Yeah, he's
right?
in
Correct?
rehab, and he'll be there until November 5th, where he goes to what's called Complex Con. I have the tweet
So-
here if you want to hear it.
Yeah, that's your
At Drake, say it to face, pussy. You think it's a game? I want to see you say it to my face. I'll be out soon, promise. Now that's harsh. That's hardcore.
Those are fighting words
right there.
Yeah.
And Cudi's not one to fuck around. And if they were to rap battle like it's fucking 1995. If they were to like kind of have a beef where they're kind of issuing tracks at each other, kind of similar to the Meek Mill Drake thing that happened about a year ago, I don't know who'd win. I mean, Drake's a good rapper, but so is Kid Cudi.
Drake's been having a lot of problems with other people.
Drake's
recently. I don't know
winning,
if you
man.
noticed this.
Drake's winning. We talked about Drake last week.
Yeah.
It's because he's winning. He was dating Rihanna. I don't know if they're still dating. I think they're not. But
Yeah, she broke up
yeah,
with
he
her or
was
something like
winning
that.
for a little while. He was dating Rihanna. He was, come on, he was on top for like a while. There's a reason that
Yeah.
people get mad that a light-skinned guy from Canada's running hip-hop. That's all it is. Granted, there are some low-key rappers that are way better than him, but they get mad that the most pop culture icon rapper is Drake.
It's Drake,
Get
yeah.
mad. That's why there were so many beefs
So
with
wh-
Eminem. Was because he was a white rapper who was winning rap.
What prompted this tweet at
I
Drake?
have.
That he,
I
why do you
can't
call him a
find
pussy?
it. I don't know. I don't know if it was a private conversation that got back to Kid Cudi. I don't know if it was like something Drake said on a song that was perceived
yeah,
wrong.
I think it was something said on the song. I think he called him out for being depressed or something like that. I don't quote me on that, but that's what I think. He called him out on one of those new tracks he dropped, Jim.
That's so weird.
And which it's I don't listen to a lot of Drake either. I didn't think that would be something like Drake to do to call someone out for being depressed and
Because
stuff.
Drake's soft as hell
I
too.
didn't. Yeah, Drake's soft as fuck.
Charmin's soft.
Rihanna just broke up with him. We're about to get Marvin's whole room.
Yeah.
Marvin's whole house.
Marvin's whole house, right?
Drake's a softie, and it doesn't. It seems really out of character for
It
him
did
to
seem out
do
of character. If he
something
did
like
say that, right? Because we don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, off hip hop real quick. I want to talk about hosts because we kind of touched on it in the beginning, but I think I want to circle back to it because I want to make it clear for everybody. If you've made it this far into the episode, thank you very much for watching. But hosts, we talked about Nate. He was kind of a semi-host the other night, and we've discussed having Noah on. We've discussed having Nate on, and I do want to start having some guests. There are a couple people that have occurred to me to bring on to the show. Some low-key YouTubers like us.
Okay.
Nate's friend Tyler has around 1,000 subscribers. I think he might be a cool guest, and I think that's a good. It's a good beneficial way for both of us. You get to make a video about yourself being on a podcast, and that brings your fans to us, so we get something, and you get to pump yourself up by not necessarily being on our channel because our channel is still kind of in that rebuilding stage, but you get to make that video about being on a podcast, and once you kind of get into that. I'm on a podcast. I've been invited to be a guest on this podcast. It kind of adds some some machismo to you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool thing to do, would be invite him. And then there are a couple of people from back in the day who I used to talk about doing dual comms with that I might try to get on. Would you be interested in doing that? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I think that'd be a smart thing to do, would be bring some people on that have YouTube channels of similar size to us and kind of have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Just have some BK Randys on. But I think definitely having Noah and Nate on is a must.
Yeah, Noah and Nate are a must. I know Noah's definitely interested.
We could talk about Skyrim with Noah for sure.
Yeah. He's a big Bethesda fan, too. He likes Skyrim Fallout a lot. Nathan's more of a... Nathan used to be a really... you guys remember. Nathan used to be a pretty hardcore Call of Duty player. He's more just a casual gamer now, I guess. Plays Rocket League and a couple pussy games, but he doesn't really play a lot of video games that much anymore. But
I got a topic real quick here. If Duke's gonna lose his damn mind, I'll go for a little rant here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, my dog's barking
It's fine.
a lot.
Don't worry about it. I'll go on a little rant here, and I can maybe clean it up in post. Anyway, I want to talk about big money YouTubers. Chip in whenever you're ready if you want to go ahead. Big money YouTubers. PewDiePie made a video relatively recently. I think it was a Q&A or something along those lines where he was talking about just answering questions. I think it was what it was. And he answered a question about how much money he makes. Now, I don't think he illicitly said, I make X dollars. But it starts the talk. You know what I mean? When you're the top YouTuber, the top dog, everyone wants to know. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to know, are you making Jay-Z money? Or are you making, like, third string quarterback money? Right? So I think it's closer to Jay-Z money, to be frank. He's got his own game. He's got his own original series on YouTube through YouTube Red and stuff. Like, he's fucking balling out right now.
He's huge.
I'm not a big fan. He's not my cup of tea, but he's a lot of people's cup of tea.
Not call him out.
Right, because PewDiePie's coming after us.
Yeah.
He's...
I'm not a huge
he
fan
kind
of
of does
PewDiePie.
like that. I know he had a scare game series for a while. Did he do Minecraft? I don't even know what he does.
He does, yeah. He did a lot of Happy Wheels stuff like that.
He does some. He's
did
more
Happy
about
Wheels,
like who he is paired with the games and kind of being silly.
Yeah, it's not really about the games.
It's not really about the games, but it's about being silly and having fun, which I can see why people enjoy that because it distracts from the monotony of how shitty your day is. But a lot of other YouTubers kind of responded here, and it got me thinking. Boogie made a video in response talking about how you can kind of calculate how much a YouTuber makes. And it was something along the lines of taking their views, dividing that into units of 1,000, and for every unit of 1,000 it's around 80 cents, and then that might be different per YouTuber. I don't necessarily remember, but it was something along those lines. But then he got into how YouTube is a new medium for content. And Spencer put it very well in the Lost episode. He said, when I want to get entertained, granted sometimes I'll go to Netflix, but what he said was, fuck Netflix, fuck Hulu, fuck regular TV, fuck all that shit. He said, when I want to watch something, I go to YouTube. He goes, all my podcasts are on YouTube. Some of the off the cuff stuff that I watch is on YouTube. A lot of the content that I watch is on YouTube. So when you think about it, I would say that maybe a third of the content that I consume comes via YouTube. A lot of my shows and stuff is Netflix, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't watch TV
I don't
anymore.
watch TV at all, unless it's sports. A third of the stuff that I get, my content, comes from, I would say, Apple. I get a lot of music. I get a lot of podcasts through them. But the rest of my content, a lot of podcasts I watch on YouTube. And a lot of the random stuff I watch on YouTube. And suddenly, YouTube went from somewhere along the lines, right? From like 2007 to now. YouTube went from, hey, check out this video of a guy breaking his head on a pane of glass. It went from that to original series. It went from watch this guy eat a cactus to watch this guy fly a drone over like a tsunami. You know what I mean? Somewhere along the lines, YouTube went from a gimmick where upload whatever you want, whenever you want. It went from that to very professional, and I'm not sure where it did it. And that new medium thing kind of struck a chord with me because Boogie said, if you want to make a living here, you can. You need to do a lot of learning. You need to have a lot of hard work. But if you can learn how to use programs, you can learn how to market your channel correctly and boost your viewership, you can make a living here if you find your niche. And that struck a chord with me because I personally think we're in the wrong market. You're right. Gaming's incredibly oversaturated. But all that being said, I like what I do. And if I could amplify my viewership, amplify my subscriber growth, I would. I seriously would. And if it came down to it, I would learn new programs. I would do all kinds of stuff. And I think that's something that can kind of be... It's something to pay attention to, is where YouTube goes over the next 5-10 years. Because it might change directions real quick and we might miss it. So, I don't know. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but I wanted to talk about that.
This was a pretty old video, but that you just reminded me. I used to watch a lot of White Boy 7th Street. I love you, White Boy. And he was talking about like the lifespan of like websites. And I think he said like 7 years was like the regular lifespan of like most websites. And he was saying YouTube has the potential to, really outdo just those basic 7 years because of what it is. And it has.
Because it's not about the creators of the website, right? It's not about that at all.
Anybody.
It's about the content creators. Because here's the thing. YouTube started around those mid-2000s, right? It passed 7 years in 2009. I remember watching videos in 2009. I remember watching Call of Duty videos in 2010. So the genre we're in is already 6 years old, right? YouTube itself is way older than 7. And it's withstanding that test of time because, you're right, it's not about the people that created the website. It's about us. YouTube. It's about what we bring to the table. And I think that's a very unique system of being a website. Because every other site, whether it's social media with Facebook and Twitter, those will live on for a long time because it's about connecting with other people. And as long as there are people to connect, those sites will be alive. But other websites, and I can't even come up with a good example right now. MySpace, for example, was kind of about connecting, but it was also kind of about like sharing yourself. It wasn't necessarily like a Facebook or a Twitter, which was like voicing your ideas. MySpace was more about like, look at me do this thing and like follow me on MySpace or whatever. It was more about having your own little corner of the internet that you customized. And then it died, right? That's the kind of unique stuff that boggles my mind is, MySpace is dead. And it's been dead. And it's not coming back. But YouTube has withstood the test of time. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Because there are some people that are moving away from it, especially in the gaming industry. You see gamers going to Twitch. You see people like, who's a great example here? Jesus Christ, I'm a fucking idiot. For example, Only Use Me Blade. Used to be a very successful YouTuber. Now he's more exclusively Twitch. You know what I mean? It's a unique shift in the way that we've gone, right? And it's interesting to think about. It is. It's very interesting to think about. You got anything for me, Jerry?
That's about it for me.
All right. Well, I hate to cut it right there. It seems like an awkward place to cut it, but again, kind of in the demo stages still because of Spencer being an asshole and leaving. But I hope you guys enjoyed episode 2 of the True Hooligan podcast. Please check us out next week because we're going to have a 2-hour episode with a guest. It's going to be dope. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jimmy here. I know it's the end of the podcast, but if you're around still, I really appreciate you watching the whole thing and sticking till the end. But I have a little bit of an announcement to make. This is Jared's brand new blue snowball. He picked it up today from Best Buy, and Spencer is buying one tonight, which means that the next episode of the podcast is going to have really, really good audio. This is my blue snowball here, and Jared and Spencer are both getting one. This is Jared's brand new one. Very, very exciting. And I just want to thank you guys for watching the videos and being a cool, I guess fan is a cool word to use. So next week's episode is going to have much better audio, and it means that we're improving, and that's a good thing. So the next purchase we're making will be webcams. That will happen eventually, and that will mean that everything will look a lot better. We'll have face cams, we'll have good audio, and maybe we'll get some more fans to start showing up because numbers aren't as great as they once were, but we're working on it. We're trying to get our numbers back up to where they were a couple years ago. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.